Dear learners, welcome to this video on central dogma of molecular biology. So dear students, let us know the learning objectives. At the end of this video, the learner will be able to evaluate the significance of fundamental molecular mechanisms operating in a cell and describe the central dogma of molecular biology. So, dear students, let us move on further. Let me first tell you why this topic is of immense importance for a life science student. A learner may be from microbiology, botany, zoology, biochemistry, biotechnology, but this concept of central dogma of molecular biology is one of the most important basic fundamental concept. And basically what it deals with is the flow of the genetic information within the biological systems. But before moving on to that, let us first become familiar. We all know what is a cell. A cell is the structural and a fundamental domain, the functional unit of a life. So cell has different organelles like cell wall, cell membrane, nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus and lysosomes. So these all organelles are known to us, but that does not mean that these are present in all the cells. For example, if I present before you a typical prokaryotic cell, now this is a bacterial cell. Now all these organelles which I just now listed, they are not all present in the prokaryotic cell because this word itself is coming from the two main words pro and karyon. So that is a kind of primitive cell. So they do not have a distinct nucleus and a cell wall, but they have a cell membrane, cell wall, nucleoid, a kind of scattered genetic material. But when we go on a further higher level like plant cell, animal cell, plant cell they do have a distinct cell wall, cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus and contractile vacuole, whereas animal cells do not have a cell wall, but all cells have a cell membrane. So this is just a kind of picture a representation of how a cell looks. No doubt this is just a diagrammatic representation because when you actually look in a living cell under a microscope, the things are different. But this is just an attempt to give you a basic idea of the three different typical types of a living cell. Now, location and function of DNA. Now, dear learners, we all know that DNA plays a very important role. It is serving like a basic repository of the information. So the location of the DNA, it is present as a nucleoid like of scattered genetic material within a prokaryotic cell, whereas it is located inside the nucleus of a eukaryotic cell. So the bacterial cell comes within the domain of the prokaryotic, whereas the animal cell, plant cell, they come and they are under the domain of a eukaryotic living cell. So what is the function? DNA is basically serving as the storehouse of the genetic information. And you should know the definition of a gene. What is a gene actually? It's a segment of DNA which codes for some character. So that is basically a gene. Now what this central dogma of molecular biology is all about? As I just now mentioned some time before, that it is a kind of explanation for the flow of genetic information within the living cell. So just now we saw the DNA. DNA is the master macromolecule which is like the genetic blueprint of a living cell. So DNA can self-perpetuate and it can maintain itself because of replication. That is first step. Then comes transcription. It is the synthesis of a single-stranded RNA copy of a segment of DNA. Now the important role is played by the RNA polymerase. It is also called as DNA-dependent RNA polymerase. So transcription it is the next step. From DNA we have the synthesis of a copy of RNA. And then comes the next step called as translation. It is the protein synthesis, or to be more specific, a polypeptide synthesis. It's a conversion of the messenger RNA based sequence information into the amino acid sequence of a polypeptide. So first is the replication, then comes transcription, and the next is the translation. Now this is very fundamental and very simple, but please note this does not happen in all. There are some important exceptions. For example, we have, and we all know the concept of retroviruses, where it is the like a particular reverse mechanism. From RNA, they can synthesize a copy of DNA because of reverse transcription. So that does not mean that it has to operate fundamentally in all. Like just now I had listed, one of the very important exception is the retroviruses, where they are capable of synthesizing the DNA from RNA because of reverse transcription. So this is just a kind of diagrammatic representation for the central dogma. So you have the DNA which can self-perpetuate because of replication. Then there is a transcription, the synthesis of RNA copy of a segment of DNA, and then comes this translation which can synthesize a polypeptide. So this was a very basic video to give you a brief introduction to the concept of central dogma of molecular biology. Thank you all for your kind attention. Keep learning.